Welcome to Reuters Events Pharma 2025 here in Barcelona, where I'm delighted to be joined by Francesco Di Marco.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you. You are the head human pharma regions of Boehringer Ingelheim. So, Francesco, so much innovation going on. Why is it critical for this industry? What's been achieved with innovation in pharma?
Well, innovation basically is what moves us forward. We are a compartment that works on improving life for patient for generation, and innovation is actually what allows us to bring this new innovation to patient. I think that we have probably, after a century of innovation, we are only at the dawn probably of what we can really bring today to patient in terms of innovation. And the future look, in my opinion, in terms of discovery, brilliant. We are just at the beginning, full of hope.
I like your optimism. And your company, of course, 140 years old, the largest independently owned pharmaceutical company. But you've been there a long time, but you face the same challenges across the industry, whether that's the aging population, whether that's reimbursement, regulatory, all these issues of overburdened healthcare systems. But there are positives then. You sound like a positive person. What about looking to the science and technology? How can you harness those to stay viable and relevant for another 140 years?
Well, first of all, I think that there are different models of doing business, but I appreciate the diversity that Boehringer Ingelheim brings. The fact that we are a family-owned company, which the family value what we're trying to do, try to bring their own, they put their name on everything we do, and I think they're very proud of that. And we represent that long-term commitment to innovation. What I want to say is that I worked for other company before in which the earning per shares were actually the driver, and I had the feeling I was a banker more than actually an innovator bringing innovation to patient. Here we have a long-term perspective of investment on really disease area where we believe we can make a difference, like oncology, mental health, the entire cardio arena, metabolic arena, and inflammation. And these are long-term commitments. So also means that our revenues is invested mainly into this innovation. This year we were getting close to 7 billion euro invested in innovation instead of buying back share to improving artificially the earning per share. It's a different perspective, and I think I'm very proud of being part of that project, even if it's a long-term project started many years ago in Germany.
But you still need to commercialize. You've got a great big pipeline. How are you going to be that commercial powerhouse that will take you forward?
Now, first of all, we are today, I believe, already a commercial powerhouse. We are present in the majority of the market across the world. We are today almost close to the 24 billion revenue. And we have a very strong pipeline that really, we believe, fulfill the need of innovation per patient. So what is very important is developing innovation that are close to the need of patient. And allow me to try to explain what does it mean with that. I think a few years back, the pharmaceutical industry finally realized that the real customer is the patient. And in that, they start to have meetings which they let the empty chair representing the patient because they needed to be reminded we're doing the patient. So at Boehringer, we fill that chair. We have the patient being present in many of the decisions we take along the developmental chain, and we actually ask for feedback on the real need for them, but also feedback on how do we have to write the protocol, how do we have to run the trials, what type of support we needed. They're a voice in everything we do. And I believe that helps us to really develop solutions that are true innovation for patients, because the ultimate goal that we have is to move life forward for generation. What I mean with that is that the revenue, and we're a business, we want to provide to our shareholders their value, in this case the family. It's a positive side effect of what we're doing, but really the game is making life better.
And so to make life better for those patients, what about the CRM, the customer relationship management? Is that transforming through new technologies like AI with your company?
The CRM, has been a tool in the past just to help how we organize the interaction with our customer. But we are in front of a true revolution because now we are developing AI tools on the CRM that, first of all, allows us to capture real world changing, having feedback our strategy play, but also understanding better our customer need, collecting the insight, having this capacity of collecting data and analyzing with AI to be very clear what is the next best action available. And that's a tremendous tool. So to me, it's like, I still remember when I was a district manager, tried to tell a sales rep that they didn't have to write their own card, but there was a need to do that and make it mandatory. And I saw many times a lot of sales reps sitting in the waiting room of doctors just passing, detail ahead so that they fulfill the need of these analytics tools. But now they see the benefit. Now we're ready to have this tool helping us, helping better both our customer, but ultimately the patient.
And what about the talent to drive that forward? Are you getting the right people in? Do they have the skill sets?
Never enough. I think that when you work on innovation, you work at the top edge of innovation. And I think the first investment you have to do is in your own people. Mm-hmm. I think that a company like Boehringer Ingelheim, they need to realize that our people are the best investment, even before the treatment we sell. And so being fully dedicated in their development is very important. And then the ability of attracting, I don't like to call it war for talent, but at least the competition to attract talent. In Boehringer Ingelheim, we have a different model because, we're sitting in a small town in Germany, very beautiful, by the vineyards, by the river and so on, but we are not sitting in the center of the Boston, the New York, the Swiss hub and so on. So we need to propose a different plan for them. So which is probably a little bit more quality of life, less living in the city. But what I want to offer to people that come to Boehringer Ingelheim is a true career in which they develop their skills. And that's where we can do a difference in the life of these people.
And what about on the horizon? What do you see coming up for the pharma industry that you've got your eye on now?
I still believe that, this being a passage of a lot of companies moving away from the larger retail businesses into going to more specialty and rare disease because they can be more profitable. But I think the majority of the difference can still be done in big areas like cardiovascular metabolic. So I still believe that the thinking that a patient needs to be treated not just by one symptom, but the totality of the symptom, that you need to look after their kidney, after their liver, and after their heart as a complex can have the major impact. So these little things will have the biggest impact. An example is, for example, obesity. Today is seen more as a short-lived treatment to basically get down to a size that somebody feels comfortable. In reality, should become a change of lifestyle. That it started through a medication, but then is supported in a multitude of ways that ultimately the patient that is an obese patient can actually have a better life because it can actually reduce the risk factor in a multitude of diseases. And I think that's actually is going to be the big impact that's coming. The other one, me or man coming from the specialty business and the oncology business, is the ability now that we have to analyze a multitude of data. If you think that you can sequence, I'm not saying the genome of a person, but the cell line that create the specific disease, you can do a sequence and then you can analyze those markers in a way that you can even think about designing the appropriate tailored therapy to work on a specific patient. That I think is going to be the revolution in the years to come. And as I said, I think it's a moment where a lot of innovation are coming together. It's the dawn of this innovation and they will bring a huge impact in society. We need to find, of course, a way to be able to afford all this innovation. And that's, I think, is the big question mark that we have. It will come to trade-off, but also come to very clear choices of healthcare system and what they want to actually actively finance and what should actually the single patient carry the cost.
Thank you very much for those insights. Francesco Di Marco of Boehringer Ingelheim, great to have you with us, and thank you so much
for having me.
your time.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.